I was actually pleasantly surprised with the amount that I learned from this class this semester. It was by far more than I thought I would have ever learned taking a class like this. To start, I've always been really bad with grammar and most punctuation. I was told growing up that my writing was extremely well otherwise. So when I came to Mary Wash and my papers began to be torn apart, it always made me wonder if I wasn't just being lied to throughout most of my childhood. Perhaps it was because I was the product of a early 90s English and how poor the explaining of grammar and punctuation was at that time. With, well, stop a sentence when you need to breathe and throw a comma in there for good measure. It was very much a guessing game, one I couldn't really grasp. I thought I nailed our first assignment. Boy, was I wrong. And after I tucked it away for 2 months and then decided to revise it, I see the mess that I wrote and I wonder how I ever thought it was so amazing. It was detached and a complete grammatical murder. The only thing I really liked was the end of that paper, which I do still like today. It was probably the best I wrote within that paper. On our third assignment, I thought that was perfect. But after having it revised what seems like 3 separate times, maybe 5, maybe more, there was always a flaw somewhere. But again, still perfect in my eyes. Something I thought was odd, but I was proud of myself regardless, so the flaws didn't really matter at that time to me. Walking away now, I realize that my grammar has, in fact, gotten better. Progressively better. Amazingly better. It was nice to walk into the writing center and have my monsters paper revised very minimally, especially in comparison to the other 3 papers that we had turned in. Clearly my best written paper this semester. I told Professor Hale upon leaving, "Hey, I actually learned something this year." And to my own astonishment, I did. It didn't seem to surprise her so much. It exceeds grammar. I learned to be more confident in my writing. Revision is still a nail-biter at times. I mean, nobody really likes having a person blindly look at a paper and then judge it. Judge in general, really. But the quantity of what I learned doesn't just boil down to grammar and punctuation. It boils down to confidence. It's having faith in your paper no matter what you write, or even how well you write it. More so, you can't be scared of revision. I know personally, no matter how hard I try or how perfect a paper I just wrote is in my own eyes, nothing I write will be perfect. Not only the very first time, but the second and the third or even the 4th time through revision. There is no such thing as a perfect paper. So it shouldn't matter what people think of that paper, as long as you walk away confident and proud that you poured your heart and soul into that paper, that what you write gets across in the same manner that you wanted it to. The most important thing I am taking away from this class is that you need to be happy with your own work, even if someone comes behind you and rips it apart, repeatedly even. You shouldn't feel disappointment for that, because it's simply their perspective. Look at Twilight, I know. But it's an example that some people hate it and some people love it. And it goes the same with anything. Plus, as Professor Hale has told me, if you want to write a book in the future, that's why they have editors. It goes along with the whole, you can't make everyone happy bit. Some people will love it. Some will expectedly hate it. Just like everything else in the world. and to each his own. I stopped letting it affect me or hurt my pride, especially when it comes to what I write. I have embraced that I have given it my best, no matter what others say about a specific work, and that is the heart of what really matters. The final thing that I learned is that the Writing Center is an amazing tool. I wonder how I ever got through my 2 years of college without it. But I know going on in my college career, it will be something I totally utilize in the future.